Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's John with Shrimply Thinking. I get asked quite often, what do you do in retirement? Well, you take your shrimp breeding passion to the next level. You start a YouTube channel, of course, and I'm told you gotta breed killifish. So I think I got the first two nailed down. I'm up to around 25 tanks and growing. I got my YouTube channel started and going. Pretty happy with it. Coming from a guy that uh, doesn't like to draw a lot of attention to himself, now has a YouTube channel, of course. So I just need the killifish. So I picked up some young Gardneri Killifish. They're, I'm told they are an easy killifish to start with. They're a non-annual. There are annual killifish, but these are non-annual. These ones will live anywhere from 2 to 4 years by the sounds of it. Whereas the annuals are a lot shorter lifespan. They just live for that season. They live in ponds and puddles that are not there year round. So they lay their eggs and wait for the rainy season to come the next season. So their lifespan is only, months to, maybe 10 months tops. And then the eggs dry out and then they get reconstituted with the rains and you have instant fish in the ponds. I would like to try those ones, but I'm going to start with these Gardner eyes. Those ones are not available to me right now. I'm in central Canada and we're in quite a cold snap right now, and just ordering any eggs online is not, any eggs or anything online at this time of year is just not wise because of the temperatures. So I have two spawning mops in here, and I have just started notice some spawning activity from my fish. I have two couples, two pairs, two males, two females. I've been watching. There's no aggression going on. I read that the males can become aggressive with each other, and you should only have one male, but it's working for me right now. I'll split them up if I have to, but actually saw an egg on one of the spawning mops yesterday, so I'm pretty confident there's eggs now in the spawning mops. So I'm going to pull out the spawning mops and I'm going to see how many eggs I can come up with. So I apologize, my audio cut out during this segment. So I'm just doing a voiceover here for this. Um, yeah, I pulled out the two spawning mops. I do have them floating at the top of the water with a cork at the top of them, as you can see. And At first, I didn't find too many here. I'm searching through, but lo and behold, they started showing up. The majority of them were at the top of the spawning mop, which is true to what I read online, that they want to lay their eggs close to the surface. I did find some lower down in the spawning mop, but the majority of them were up high. There's a few different methods to breeding these, but I'm going to use a little cup of water and I'm just going to hatch them in the cup of water. Um, there's some people just take the spawning mop and put it into another tank and just let them hatch right off the spawning mop. There's another method that I'd like to try where you put them in some moist peat moss and you store them for a couple months. And then after they've been in storage a couple months, you just add them to water and apparently they hatch within 15 minutes at that point. These ones I expect to be 2 to 3 weeks to hatch being in water. And that's the one I'm going to try for now, but I will definitely try the other one if I have success here, and maybe I'll do another video on how my results are. So the spawning mops are 100% acrylic. I made them myself. They seem to be working really well. I pulled out about 12 eggs I counted here. So that should be a good start to try them out. So like I said, I'm just going to put them in a small cup of water and just monitor them from there daily. They will, from time to time, I'm told, eat their eggs. Maybe that's why I didn't find too many eggs. And also, they are new breeders, so maybe they're just not up to full breeding capacity yet. So I'm hoping these eggs that I collect here are all going to be viable. I know some people use methylene blue to combat any mold or fungus or bacteria that might develop and spoil the eggs. Um, it's not that accessible to me here in central Canada, so I'm going to use hydrogen peroxide. I'm just going to put a couple drops in the dish every 12 hours. The methylene blue I actually think might be banned in Canada. Uh, I can order it online, but I was told it might actually be banned. Like I've never seen it on the shelves in any local fish stores or anything. Um, a few very popular aquarium products have been banned here. Like I know some of the medication to combat freshwater ick is no longer available in Canada. Again, I think you can get it online, but I think it's a bit of a gray area here getting it. So yeah, I'll check back every once in a while when I see some development here and maybe take a photo or a small video on these eggs as they develop. As I said, I'll just keep putting in a couple drops of hydrogen peroxide every 12 hours because it doesn't last in the solution. So this is day 9. You can start to see some eyes forming and some other anatomy is starting to develop. The eyes are very prominent at this point. Okay, day 12. Looks like there's been quite a bit of development. The eyes are very dark black. There's some other anatomy there. I'm not going to hazard a guess to exactly what it is, but there definitely is a lot of growth going on. There's a couple eggs that I think I'll pull out of here that I don't see the eyes in that don't look like they're viable. So I'll just pull them out so they don't spoil any of the other eggs or attract any bacteria or fungus or anything. I'm going to move them into a breeder box at this point. So I have the breeder box. I'm just going to use one of my Caridina tanks, and let's zoom back out here for you. And so I'm just going to place the cup right in the box, and I'm going to turn the air supply on, which will bring in the tank water. And now we'll see how the hatching goes, and they'll be contained in this breeder box. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with the fry. I'm most likely going to just leave them in this breeder box till they get to a good age, assuming I am successful at raising these guys. Looking good. Okay, day 20. The eggs are coming along nicely. You can see 2 eyes in each egg, and you can see some other anatomy developing inside the egg. I'm guessing this is only going to be another day or two, and hopefully we're going to see some hatching. They look like they're just about ready to pop. The next day, day 21, a little bit of change. I see this one egg here in the center of the screen where I'm pointing has a tail. coming out the back of it. So it is in the process of hatching right now. The other ones still seem like they're all still contained in their eggs, but I would think they're not going to be too far behind. See if I can point this out a little bit better and focus in here. Yeah, so that's definitely a tail. Maybe it's even just the yolk sac that it's now just sitting and absorbing. It's not moving at all, but it's definitely, if not completely out of its casing, just about out of the casing. Yeah, still a little bit in the casing there, I think, on the head and the eyes. Day 22. We have contact. They have hatched. I checked the breeder box and my little cup right away, and nobody was in the cup, so they've all left the cup. I'm just searching through the breeder boxes to see how many I have in here. They're quite hard to see. The breeder box has a little bit of debris now building up on the bottom, and these things are pretty transparent, but they're kind of whitish transparent. There's one top right corner of the screen right now. Looks like I have about 6 of them in here. And I think I started with 12 eggs. So 50% hatch rate, that's not too bad, I think, for a first time. I had picked out some of the eggs that I saw were opaque or getting moldy or just weren't fertilized, so they weren't viable eggs. I picked them out, but looks like I have 6 fry and they're darting around and swimming right away on day 1. So of course I forgot to prepare any baby brine shrimp or anything like any live food for them. So I think I'll try. I have some frozen cyclops, some frozen daphnia. That might be too big for them. And I have some fry powder. I'm just gonna sprinkle in and see how they do with that. Hopefully they'll take that, and I'll be feeding these guys, 3 to 6 times a day, I'm guessing, at least until they get to be a decent size. Quite happy and excited for calling this a success. Okay, let's try to get a little bit better footage of these guys. They're super hard to get some good footage of. They dart away quite quickly. I'm surprised how fast they are. They are super fast, but I guess that's a survival technique for them to stay away from any predation. So yeah, I confirmed it. I have 6 in total, so an exactly a 50% hatch rate. Um, I think that's okay. Uh, Obviously would have liked 100% hatch rate, but maybe next time. So now to figure out what I'm going to feed these guys. They are looking for food, I think. There is a lot of microorganisms in this water. This is a very seasoned tank, so there's lots of Daphnia and Cyclops, seed shrimp, and and whatever other organisms you can see also swimming around in here. But we'll give them some more supplemental food to make sure they're good and fed, and we'll see how fast they get to adulthood. Apparently, it's only like 4 to 5 weeks, I believe, and they should start to look like their parents. I just remembered I had vinegar eels sitting on my shelf that I had set up a few months back and forgot about them. These are great to have on hand for moments like this when you forget to prepare any fry food for your hatching. So these guys are perfect. You just a little bit of apple slice at the bottom of the bottle, and you set them up on the shelf with 50% water, 50% vinegar, and they will sustain themselves for months with no maintenance. So I'm just going to use a little pipette. We'll suck up some vinegar eels and we'll send them down to the fry and see how they react. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're going for them. Trying to get them on camera here. So yeah, I'll be feeding these guys vinegar eels, and I'm gonna set up some baby brine shrimp to hatch, and we'll load them up with some good powdered fry food and the other fry products I have to fatten them up and see if we can grow them to adulthood quickly with lots of protein and lots of good high quality food. They're sitting on the side of my one of my Caradina tanks right now, which has a little bit softer water in it, which these guys supposedly like, which is nice. So now I can, it's a 20-gallon tank and just a breeder box on the side, so I can feed these guys 4 or 6 times a day and not worry about fouling up the water. And yeah, so quite happy calling this a success. 50% hatch rate. We'll try to do a little bit better next time. I'm going to try the peat moss next time, I think. So maybe I'll do a video on that next, and I'll come back and give you an update on how these guys are doing. All right, if you guys found this interesting in any way, and I think if you made it this far, then you did. So please like and subscribe. It helped me out growing my very, 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 very small channel into just a very small channel. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm back just with a little bit of bonus footage. It took me a few days to get my editing done. So this is 5 days later. So these killifish are 5 days old. I got a couple of them on the screen here. And if you notice, I have some vinegar eel still lingering on here. And the one on the left is going to eat one just about right now. Awesome. Okay. See you later. Bye-bye.